Oh shit, we got another giveaway for you guys. This time, our newest sponsor, SpicesPros.com, has provided us with not just one, but 2 copies of Madden 18. So here is how you enter. First, make sure to subscribe to the channel at crossbonesmma.com. Make sure to like this video and leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends, that way they can get on the action as well. Now on August 25th, we will announce the 2 winners of the giveaway on a special live edition of Keyboard Warriors, where we're going to break down and talk about and go through all the storylines of Mayweather versus McGregor the night before the fight. If you're one of the winners, we will contact you on Twitter through DM, so make sure in that comment section you leave your Twitter handle just in case you're one of the winners. A huge thank you to our listeners, our viewers, our followers, and our friends, and thank you so very much for supporting crossbonesmma.com. Bellator just got a couple more signings. The not so impressive one, Sam Sicily, I think got he's got a pretty big deal out of Bellator as far as how many fights he gets. But Sam Sicily out to Bellator, and heavyweight, former UFC champion Frank Mir off to Bellator. We've heard him say he wants that Fedor fight. For some reason, everyone wants to kill my boy Fedor. He ain't do shit to nobody, and they want to murder this dude. I mean, Fred, this is another case of Bellator just trying to cash in on a name.
Makes perfect sense, man. I mean, does this surprise any fucking body?
Nope.
Frank Mir seems like the fucking perfect candidate for Bellator at this point. And quite frankly, it makes perfect sense that he would call out Fedor. That's a fucking winnable fight for Frank at this point. He wins that fight, he's off to the races of Bellator. Does Bellator even have a heavyweight champion yet?
No.
Is it like, I think it's vacant or some shit because they lost their heavyweight champion, that one prick fucking whatever the fuck went to the UFC?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I thought their champ was a guy that got suspended, went to Russia, fought, and then he was like holding out for more money or something. Isn't that the guy?
I don't know.
Was it Volkan? No. Not Udazmir.
He was a Russian
fucking
guy.
heavyweights. Whatever, man. Whatever. Their heavyweight division is shite. Frank Mir is a huge name. This is what Bellator does at this point. Yep. It shouldn't be surprising. Listen, is it a good signing for Bellator? Bet your sweet tits it is. If I'm fucking sitting around with shit all to do on a fucking Saturday night or Friday night, whatever the fuck Bellator's on, and they can throw fucking... Listen, I'll tell you right now, Bellator, fucking Scott Coker, Rich Chow, whoever the fuck's making the decisions over there, I ain't paying you no money to see these 2 old fucks fight. But you give it to me on Spike, I'm happy as a lark. I'll watch fucking Frank Mir and Fedor fight. I'll even watch it in the main event if it's free on Spike.
Yeah, no, exactly. Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that before, right? Right before we started the show, that it was the most like dumb moment ever. Like, you know, Frank Mir is the type of guy that is a legacy guy, right? You've seen him fight in the UFC for so long, and it'll be kind of weird for him to go to Bellator, but it kind of seems like the right choice. But as you guys were talking, I came up with this weird idea. So now Frank Mir's in Bellator, right? Where if he had wanted to, he could have taken a fight right away, because it's not like Bellator has anything to do with USADA. You know, they could go to Indian, casino somewhere in, Kansas or whatever and fight there. But think about this. So Frank Mir wanted to have a rematch with Brock Lesnar, right? So what's stopping Bellator from going after Brock Lesnar and bringing him over to Bellator for a one night only against Frank Mir one more time?
Can I answer that? Yeah. John Jones.
John Jones.
I think Brock's a smart bit. Listen, what you said, if Brock didn't have the carrot in the form of John Jones dangling over there in the UFC, the $1 million fight, I think what you say could very well be a reality. But since they got that John Jones shit dangling, I don't think Brock's going fucking nowhere. But that's not a bad idea.
But you also got to think, to fight John Jones, he has to wait out his suspension, and he's got to be clean when he goes back in there to fight. He's got to go through the whole USADA protocol and all that. Cut to Bellator, they're probably going to put in his contract, we will not test you for blah, 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 blah. Like the old Pride contract. So,
Yeah. We promise not to test for any of these things, so you knock yourself out.
Like, we will test for coke and weed. That's all we'll test for. That's like that's kind of what the Pride contract used to say. Actually, we'll test for cocaine. That's it. Like some shit like that. A lot of support here for Mir Fedor. Gun Death and DQ says Mir versus Mitrione. Oh no. I almost said I don't want to see Mitrione. Yeah, Mitrione and Mir and Mitrione. I'd be okay with that fight over a Fedor fight, because Fedor is like what, 3 in a row he's lost, or 2 in a row, whatever it
2.
is. Yeah.
No, 1.
1.
Yeah, because initially that was a win for him, right? The Maldonado fight.
Oh right.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
Okay. All right.
Yo, hold on, quickly.
What up?
And listen, it's completely irrelevant. Not that it fucking matters. And surely Fedor and nobody remotely fucking 5 steps removed from him watches this fucking program. Topic of Fedor, because he's such a legendary figure. And again, I know he'd never do it. You know what I would like to see Fedor do? Fight at 205. I would love to be excited for Fedor again. But honestly, if he fights Frank at this point, I low-key just see Frank smothering him and submitting the shit out of him. Frank's huge, and he's just got such a – I think he can out-wrestle Fedor. If Fedor don't lay paws on him quickly, I think he'll eventually drag Fedor to the ground, and it'll be swimming with sharks in that first round. And Fedor's doughy. He's been able to make 205 for a month of Sundays. I'd love to be excited for a Fedor fight, and if he could actually make 205, all of a sudden that would come alive. Can you imagine if he was fucking Bellator's light heavyweight champion, and he like got slim and looked good and kept some of that power and shit? Like, you could actually maybe be excited for Fedor again. Now, we all know that he's probably never going to be motivated enough to give a fuck to do that. No. But I think it'd be interesting, man, because, I mean, at this point, I'll watch Fedor fight, but I'm not nowhere near as excited as I used to be. Like, that fucking horse has left the stable, Jack.
Yeah,
hey, Fred, how old are you?
32.
Rough estimate. All right. So, what Fedor's like in his 40s, close to about that?
Right. Well, I don't think he's in his 40s, is he? But he's like maybe 40, 39, 40 something.
I'll find out.
Somewhere in that area. So, right. So let's say that in your bank account at your age right now, you have a couple $1 million. Every time you go out and fight, they'll give you a couple million more. What would be the motivation for him to actually put in the effort to starve himself of things that he enjoys, to cut down to a weight that I agree with you. We've all kind of, the whole MMA community has been, tooting this horn for a long time about him going to 205. But like you said, what would motivate him? What could you possibly offer him that he would be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea?